There's never been a better time than now to stop what you're doing and tune in to Straight Up, TAB Radio's weekly podcast that will guide you through the difficult journey that is the punt. Whether it be racing or sport, the Straight Up team has your back. Now, from the studios of TAB Radio, welcome to Straight Up.
Yeah, welcome. It is Seb Clark and Rusty Collette today.
G'day, Sebby.
Bit of a B team, but nonetheless.
Good to see the champ back.
Yeah, no, I heard he was on his deathbed last week.
Yeah, mate, the prayer vigil obviously worked. There was a lot of people very concerned about him and his health, but he's back.
But he still got a lot of raps last week, I heard.
He did.
For his hard work?
Well, he did a lot of work in bed.
Yeah.
So he had had his onesie on and had his slippers on.
He's one of those work-from-home type operators.
I think he works better there.
Yeah.
Less distractions, Seb, I think, helped. Only really made the one massive blue. It wasn't, well, look, it wasn't massive, was it really? Yeah. It only won by 8.
Right.
Cosmic Crusader. And he put up 220 and
220 was snapped up. And
28.
Wow.
See, that's a nice little gift laying on the deathbed saying, look, I'm going to give something back to the punters.
Right. 220.
220.
To $1.28.
And won by 8.
Yeah, it was a
dominant, wasn't it?
Effortless run in the end from Cosmic Crusader.
Now into the second favourite, I believe, for the railway, if not favourite.
It doesn't surprise me on the back of that.
How could you be surprised with that sort of effort?
Go on.
But good to have him back, Sebby.
Yes.
Always good to have him back. And great to have you here, mate. Have we heard from Mart yet? I know he's over there in Dubai. Have we heard, has he made a purchase yet on one of these super yachts?
Well, Greg L's just texted. It's a good point after the success of Mart's Maps merch a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
No doubt he's got some money to spend, I think.
Oh, he's up and running. Yes. I think he's gone over there to play with the big boys. He's one of the big boys now. And, why wouldn't you go to the World Super Yacht Expo and have a look at them? Just check them out.
The cash flow is high in the Marty map, the Mart's Maps department at the moment, so it's good to see. Good.
No, very good. Look, if we do get a photo there of the super yacht, which will be called martsmaps.com, we'll certainly put that up on the socials because we're looking forward to it and looking forward to getting out there on the river with it.
Oh, spot on. The Swan.
Mate, the text line?
Retrovision text line is firing nice and early. Hey, boys, presuming Marty has been given the Jimmy Kimmel treatment, missing his dulcet tones. Got the A-team in for Straight Up today, though. I presume you would be Mr. T. Rusty.
Ah, very good. Very good, Mr. T. I used to have chains like that when I could afford them. Cosmic Crusader. McGinnity, good to see you. Very, very good to see you just quickly. Cosmic Crusader, $3 railway favourite. And $2.20 to $1.28 last week. Cosmic Crusader. Was that? Can I ask a question, McGinnity? By this stage of the day, it was race 5. Were you a bit under the chemicals? Were you a bit chemical enhanced when you got to that race? Because we were concerned. That's when we called the prayer vigil when you put up the 220.
Sadly, they weren't my prices, but I'm just glad that you blokes finally picked a winner somewhere.
Oh, I thought they were yours.
Nah, it's...
oh, okay.
No, I was busy seeing Leprechauns and Dougal and various unsolicited other things. Anyway, hi, gents.
Good to see you back, mate. You've got colour in your cheeks.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Don't recommend hepatitis to anyone.
Brilliant.
That bad.
No, well, I think I experienced a bit of that in Kalgoorlie with Mart going back a bit.
Jeez, it's going around, isn't it?
It is. It is certainly going. This is a nasty... it's been a wet winter, and it's been a really, really bad winter for viruses, I think, right throughout the community.
Speaking of the conditions, it's become much better over the last 7 days, which is, I think, something Belmont Racetrack has been dying for in the last couple of days, and it's a good time to talk to Brock Nealing, who's on the line to talk about the track report for the final time for Belmont this season. Brock, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, boys. Yeah, we're certainly very appreciative of the sun coming out finally, and I think we're not the only ones. There's a few tracks around the state that are really bouncing out of the ground now. We've had 4 or 5 days of some warmer weather, so soil temperature's up. Some golf courses are looking a bit better too, so I think everyone's a bit happier.
Good for yesterday. What are the expectations for Saturday?
Yeah, very similar conditions this Saturday coming. So we're just putting on 7-8 mil of irrigation on it at the moment. That'll likely land us in that soft 5 range tomorrow morning, and we'll just see what the weather does to us tomorrow. The temperature is dropping down a little bit to 22 degrees. They are saying there's a really slight chance of a shower in the morning, so there might be a bit overcast tomorrow. So we'll probably hold that soft 5 range for most of the day. We'll make a decision later on in the day whether we need to throw a little bit at it to keep it in that good 4 soft 5 range into Saturday morning, but whatever happens tomorrow, that's where we'll be, and we expect it to be in that good 4 range for our final day.
And a quick one, Brock, Rusty Collette here, mate. Good to see you back at the True. When was the last time we raced at the True at Belmont?
Yeah, so it's been 4 weeks. We're on the soft 6 there on the 30th of August, so good spell for that pad to just to recover a bit. Obviously, we've had some really cold conditions, after that, so the recovery was a little bit slow. But the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've seen that really recover. So that was a little bit of the discussion around while we were out at 18 on Wednesday with pushing towards the end of the season. But it's mainly just based around making sure that the track plays really fairly for each race meeting. So if we were inside of that, we would have been on pads that we've used over the last 4 or 5 weeks that are still a bit banged up. So the best pad for us to make sure the track played fairly yesterday was to be out at 18, and after 4 weeks we're really happy with the true position, and also including the home straight with continuing having that the wear and tear spread right across the track, so we're really confident that that'll play fairly tomorrow as well.
2J Cup Day on Sunday. It's a monster day with the following day being a public holiday. How's things teeing up there?
Yeah, no, really good. Steve Ferguson and the committee out there are working really hard. It's coming together really, really well. We put in a ryegrass oversow into that track as we did last year, and that. While the wet conditions were a struggle for us, it's been a real benefit for 2J out there. So track's looking really well. The weather's helped the track as well this week. So 22 degrees again for Sunday. Anyone that's keen to head out for the Tab Touch 2J Cup, I consider I'd really encourage them to take the trip out there. It'll be a great day, and expecting a really good crowd.
And Brock, Rusty Collette again. I was up there on Wednesday this week. The track looks absolutely fantastic. They've done a great job with it. And off the track also, it looks like it's brand new. They've painted everything. Everything's tidy, clean, beautifully presented. They're really looking forward to getting their Cup Day back to 2J after a couple of years away.
Yeah, it was the first one back there last year, and it was a really good test run for a bit of a refresh committee out there. So they really had a plan after that to hit the ground running into this year. And it doesn't happen often. Like I would have gone out to the track 3 months ago on a weekend, and there would have been 12 or 15. Committee and locals out there painting and pulling old gutters down and replacing everything. So, like you said, the track's looking in really good condition, and so all the facilities. There's a new area for a rodeo event that's going to be mid-November out there, I think. So they're really taking that track and the club forward.
Yeah, I was surprised when we got up there how many people were working on the facilities there. It looked fantastic, but there would have been 50 people, I think, and no one was sitting around talking. Everyone was doing a job. It's an amazing thing, these country clubs. When they get together and they get on purpose, they can pull it off very quickly, and hats off to everyone up there in 2J. It was just a flurry of activity. Great to see them. And, mate, I was out on Tuesday out at Ascot preparing for the return to Ascot, because we're going to go to Kalgoorlie next week, of course. The track at Ascot looks like you could bowl lawn bowls on it. Looks fantastic.
Matt and the team have done a really good job over here as well, so we can't wait to get back. This weather in the last week is much needed. With doing the renovation over the cooler months, the Kaikui does take a little bit to get going, but we knew a couple of months ago that we were really well placed. We got the winter grass, which is been a little bit of a struggle here over a long period of time. We've got that really under control, so the track's really pure Kikuyu surface.
Yep.
We're going to have a full range of rail movements ready to go first meeting back. So we slowly increased the height. So we're at about 75 mil in height, so it is quite short at the moment, but we'll really bring that up into a proper racing height over the next 3 weeks. We're really seeing that growth with this sun being out on the warm season Kikuyu. It just was ready to go, and we've seen that happen already, so we can't wait to get back here in a couple of weeks' time on the 11th.
Good on you, bro. Looking forward to talking all about Ascot in coming weeks. Appreciate your time here on Straight Up.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
McGuan gets past Brown. They're lifting the pies. They can sense it. McGuan's had 5 bounces. Nearly get another one. Round he goes. In he goes to an open goal. Mickey McGuan, goal of the year.
Mick McGuan joins us on Straight Up for this AFL preview thanks to Danks Furniture.
You won't see better than that.
With 6 local stores in the metro area, there's one near you.
All thanks to Danks Furniture. It is the biggest week of AFL on the calendar. And joining us on the line, as you heard, is Mickey McGuan. Mick, good afternoon to you.
G'day, Mick.
G'day, fellas. How are you, Seb and Rusty?
Really well, mate. 1 day and 20 hours and 57 minutes away from bounce down for the grand final. It's going to be a beauty.
Yeah, can't wait for it. I think there's been a strong conversation around all week, all things being said and all things being equal. I think the best 2 teams have probably reached the grand final stage. We know Adelaide finished on top of the ladder, but unfortunately for that club, went out in straight sets. They were really disappointing in their finals campaign, and Collingwood was one club that was sitting well and truly out in front of the pack after about 14 rounds, but they come back to the pack really quickly with a disappointing finish to their year, but their win in Adelaide gave them hope, but they were clearly outplayed last week against Brisbane when the game was in the balance, and I think reflecting, the 2 best teams have got to the grand final stage.
I really missed Isaac Rankin. No matter what the penalty there, the club, Adelaide, certainly missed him in finals. He's a superstar. He's a player that can turn games very quickly. I think he was a massive out when you look back, and it was a harsh penalty that the club copped there from that indiscretion. But, it really it paid its way in the last couple of games.
No doubt about that. They just lost their attacking flair, particularly around 450 stoppage. Their last 2 games in their front half, they just couldn't score once the ball was in there to manufacture a train or manufacture a stoppage chance to score. And that Rankin effect clearly had serious ramifications for their ability to score in that part of the ground, because we know he can play midfield, but also when he goes forward, he just gives them a different dynamic in that part of the ground. He's creative, he's instinctive, he's a brilliant front and square player. He's a player that loves to flush through a stoppage, create some space for himself on the move, and generally he comes out the other side with the ball in his hand, and that's when he can kick a freakish goal, which invigorates his teammates, but also gets the crowd involved.
And can we just take one step back for this week, Meg? You would have been happy with the way that the voting worked out at the Brownlow Medal. Certainly the top 3 players, I think, finished top 3, and also with the Rising Star Award winner. Young bloke plays every game for the year, comes from pick 12 or 15 or something, and he certainly was a deserving Rising Star winner.
No doubt about that. The one thing that good players do, they don't fumble, and once they get it, they make good choices, generally. And Murphy Reid certainly fills that bill. He just knows how to win the ball in that front half of the ground. He has significant impact with his touches, either by scoring himself or generating goal assists or scoring opportunities for others based on his decision-making and, more importantly, his execution. He's always been a clean player. Watched him over here in the Coach League a couple of years ago. Watched him in those Vic Metro Championship games against Western Australia, New South Wales and the Allies, and he was always going to be a point of difference irrespective of what club got him, but I reckon he's gone on in leaps and bounds based on his first year of pre-season, but also his first year of AFL footy. He's going to be star of the future for many years to come.
And opportunity is a big thing, getting to Fremantle, and they certainly had that spot available. He seized it with both hands, but opportunity is a big thing. To be able to play every game certainly gives you a chance to not just find your feet, but to get a bit of experience. And by the end of it, I reckon even halfway through the season, he was very comfortable at senior level.
Yeah, he could find space in a phone box, but he also is very cool once he's got it in congestion. He just sees the game. He plays on with his eyes a lot, not necessarily his legs. He's not Fredericks or he's not Switkowski or he's not Shea Bolton. He's got his own sort of sense of feel about the game, and I just love players watching them from a young age to a mature age player. When they get it, they know what they're going to do with it before they've received the footy or won the footy. And I've always been a firm believer, if you've got to have the capacity to win your own ball, but once you win it, you've got to handle it, and he doesn't fumble, and then you've got to make good decisions thereafter. And what the most important thing in my eyes is the speed of the game, because I've seen some slow players over the history of time, or slower players, still influence games of footy, and I reckon Murphy Reid is a very good case in point considering the other speed options they got around him.
Mick, a lot of conjecture during the week around the Brownlow result. Matt Rowell, the winner with 39 votes, clearly probably too many to the next best, and Nick Dacos with 7 votes between them again. But what's your thoughts on the process at the moment? Would you change it? I guess in the end it is still the sort of top 3 or 4 players that the coaches had in just a different order.
Yeah, well, you're not going to please everyone when it comes to any vote, even club awards. I know, looking back in your day and you say, well, here's a Copeland Trophy night at Collingwood, and you say, well, that game, from an individual perspective, I thought I was only okay, but the match committee said it differently based on the role they gave you that day, whether it was a cooler role or just an offensive role, or you go back behind the ball to give some creativity coming out of half-back, but you mightn't have got the footy as much as you liked, or you didn't defend the ground or defend the opponent you were given as much as you should have. But everyone sees the game differently. And in the Brownlow's case, I think it's a unique award. It's given by the umpires. And I just think the last thing we need to do for the umpires is to give them stats, because it'll just be aligned to everyone else's train of thought. And I've always been probably of the opinion I'd love to see for a year, just try it, to see what it'd be like in the coach's box when no coaches have access to stats in-game while it's live, because I reckon we've lost a bit of a coach's feel to the game of footy, and I'd love to see them not be servants to data and just get back to the old days where you had instinct, footy intuition, to see what the trends of the game were like and what you do it without the numbers that have been presented down your throat every 3 or 4 seconds in a game of footy nowadays. I'd just like to see it for some stage get back to that and see who can coach, or see who's relying on numbers to get their respective teams across the line, or can they actually do something about the trends in it without the numbers validating what they need to do? Let your eyes tell you what you've got to do.
He spoke very well, Matty Rowell, Mick, and I think
a few ums and ahs in there.
Yeah, but I think he was thinking about his answers rather than just going the cliches, and I think he's a pretty deep character. Also, great to see the relationship that they've had right through since juniors with Noah Anderson.
Yeah, obviously great friends, and that's what footy does, doesn't it? Everyone that's played our great game, you certainly get connected to like-minded people who are there for a reason, and they're trying to play out a dream when they're young. They've known each other for a long period of time. They've gone through pathway success together, Vic Metro stuff as well, and then to be drafted to the same club and live out your dream with one of your best mates, that is a dream come true. And then to turn those dreams into reality, because of the drive both those guys have got. One's captain in Noah Anderson, the other probably was up for debate whether he'd stay at the Gold Coast Suns, but based on representing the club this year, the way he went about it, and then for them to play a finals game and then to win that finals in incredible circumstances against the Dockers, just that bodes well for your club's future, and those two boys clearly are a part of their future. And the way he spoke, I thought it was from the heart. You're not going to get a presidential address when it comes to talking to the public and the population of Australia. It's going to be pre-scripted. You're going to get up there and just speak from your heart, and I thought he just handled the occasion brilliantly. I love it when it's authentic. I love it when it's raw and passionate, but also I love it when it comes from the heart, and I think that's one thing we all respected when we heard Matt Rowell get interviewed by McLaughlin, but also when he had the time to speak on his own.
Mick, let's talk about Saturday afternoon, the biggest day on the footy calendar, and the question on everyone's lips about this game is, are you a Snoop Dogg fan, Mick McGuan?
When they said Snoop Dogg's going to be a part of it, I had no idea who Snoop Dogg was.
I'll take it as a no.
No idea. No, definitely no. That sort of music world, those gung-ho musicians, that's not my bread and butter, to be honest, fellas, and I'll watch it like everyone will.
Did you see snag yesterday? Did you see the snag at the presser? He's kicked one from 30 metres out in the angle, Ripper.
Yeah, they kicked it out an angle and then did a snapshot late in that vision that I saw with Nick and Josh Dacos, and I thought, oh, well, he's going to play it up, and as he did, he's a showman. You can certainly tell that. Like most Americans, once they get in front of a big stage or on a microphone, they certainly produce their best, and I got no doubt he'll bring something differently to the grand final.
The real question on everyone's lips is, can you take injured players into a grand final? We've got Lachie Neale as a test, Jared Barry also listed as a test. Teams will be announced shortly, but your thoughts on those two players heading into this game?
Yeah, well, with the shoulder, obviously you can probably jab it up and probably try to get through and numb the pain and try to get through it. Barry's a tough cookie. I've got no doubt if he's right and his movement's okay, providing they want to jab him up and he thinks he can get through it, I think they'll trust him. And, you know, the situation with Lockie's a little bit different, whether it be groins, hamstrings or calves. You know that you're going to be relying on your legs to get you across the ground, and based on the fast twitch area that he plays in around numbers, got quick feet, has to burst out of stoppage, work laterally, respond to a stoppage loss, get after an opponent that's won it to chase the tackle. It's a little bit different, but I think there'll be an element of trust. He's certainly done the work on Saturday. A couple of people that I speak to at Brisbane, they said they were pleasantly surprised how hard he worked and the volume he got through with no repercussions. So with another 7 days from that point to where he's going to be on Saturday afternoon, there's going to be another 3 or 4 training sessions. He'll be certainly in that hyperbaric chamber. He'll be doing everything possible, the professional that he is. And when it comes to a discussion with coach and medical staff and player, you're not going to probably disrespect what Lachie Neale thinks about his body. He's played enough footy under duress at times to get through. We witnessed what he went through last year. If he's right on this occasion, I've got no doubt Fagan will go with him.
And for those playing the grand final, a lot of people love to put a multi together, Mick. What are the stats that come to mind for you for the grand final that are quite telling over the years and can quite often throw up the winner?
Well, I think you've probably got to understand what both coaches tend to do in pressure cooker situations. And I don't think Brisbane, except for Dunkley, are going to employ a run-with role, whereas Geelong under Scott, there's probably 3 players that they could use in Atkins around stoppage, which he'll go to Neale. We know what Mullen did 3 weeks ago against McCluggage. Now, he started on the bench that night. Yep. McCluggage started in the centre square. Once he come to him after the third centre bounce in the centre square, he basically followed him everywhere he went. And Fagan obviously threw the magnet around, said you can start half forward, see if that destructures their back 6. But no, they've groomed Mullen for a defender, so you go all the way rather than hand it over. And the other tagger they use is O'Connor to play with that dynamic forward who goes up in the midfield like Rayner does, and when he goes back forward, you go all the way with him. So I think they're the 3 guys that Chris Scott will use, and then you've got to weigh up whether or not the players that they're trying to be assigned to can get off the chain. McCluggage is a ball winner, but 2-3 weeks ago he only had 16 touches. So if you want to take him in a possession bet, you can do that at your own peril. We know he had 37 last week, and he was brilliant when given free rein against Collingwood. But when basically a good tagger who's disciplined to task and very disciplined in what he's asked to do for the team, the betterment of the team, he might be able to get off the chain, because we've witnessed Mullen, when he goes to those roles, he does it with magnificent discipline.
A stat I've viewed throughout the week that I thought was quite extraordinary was scores from time on, so from the 20-minute mark onwards. The top 3 teams in the competition for this season: Gold Coast plus 158 in time on, the Dogs plus 166 in time on, the Cats plus 422 in time on. What makes them such a good time on team?
Incredible.
Well, we had a young boy that was involved in our club last year get drafted to the Cats, and I saw him probably in February this year, Keaton Mattify Forbes, big left footer, and I spoke to him how he enjoyed the experience, and I said, how have you found the requirements around the running component over summer? And he said, first thing he said, geez, we've got some good runners. And I said, name them. He went Myers, Close, Holmes, Smith. He said they're just off the charts when it comes to their speed endurance, but also their endurance overall. They can have repeat efforts at high velocity and high accelerations. And I've watched that quartet basically very closely this year, and you can see why. They're so involved in canes, so involved in offence late in quarters. They're running as quick as what they are in the first 5 minutes of a quarter as what they are in the last 5 minutes. And when you've got good players who make good decisions under fatigue and go into an open forward line like they orchestrate, Cameron plenty of space, Neil plenty of space, Stengel plenty of space, you wonder why they score. And that's the reason why they're probably the most pure ball movement team in the competition. One, because of their energy, their ability to get across the ground. Once they get it, fatigue doesn't set in. It makes them sloppy with their disposal. And that's the reason why they're such an efficient team. They're hard to beat. And
they can run out those quarters, can't they, mate? Going back to the prelims, Patrick Dangerfield, that was one of the prelims of all time, wasn't it, as an individual effort?
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. Can he back it up in 7 days? Like, he had a week's rest. He was fresh. He's got an ageing body. The way he plays, you'd think he's got to come back to the pack. But the way he demanded respect from his opposition, his assault on the footy, goes into the centre square, makes a significant amount of difference. To have, 31 disposals, that was a season high. He had 20 contested possession, that was a season high. He had 5 score assists, which was 5. That's his third most of the year. He had 13 score involvements, which was a season high. And Paddy Dangerfield becomes the first ever player to record 30-plus disposals, 20 contested possessions and 3 goals in a final.
Remarkable.
That is significant. Question is, can he repeat it? That's the debate.
Well, that is the question. He's $8 right now on the Tab Touch market for the Norm Smith medal. Can we get your tip for this year's grand final? A Norm Smith and maybe a player, a first goal scorer, possibly.
Yeah, well, I've gone for Geelong, and I just think their form, their health, the way they are playing, the way they've approached the 2 finals, built on pressure. Now, they had 51 tackles in the first half 3 weeks ago against Brisbane, and I got no doubt it caught them off the hop. And that's why they were very, very clumsy coming out of their D50 end. That's the Brisbane Lions. They orchestrated 21 forward half marks, which went back and they scored. And that's why they're so strong. If they get territory, which they did against the Lions, and they put pressure in that front half with Manor and Close and Myers and Stengel, these blokes with natural leg speed, they'll certainly put pressure on Wilmot and Zorko and these boys that love bouncing out of that defensive end and could turn it over through the corridor. They'll just get exposed the other way. So I think they'll win. My Norm Smith medalist, I think Max Holmes, who's got great versatility, and he might be the one that gets off the chain. Might be some attention to Bailey Smith if needed. We know he gets the footy and finds it with his work rate. The 7-day backup, Danger being the age of the years, is a big ask to replicate that form of 7 days ago. So I'm half neglecting that. Don't think he can do those numbers again. He'll still have impact, but I reckon Holmes could be the one that could get off the chain because, as we know, Scott throws his magnet around from inside the centre square. He can push him to a wing, he can put him to half-back like he did 3 weeks ago, where he gave great drive and great energy out of that area of the ground, which you've got to do in finals footy. And the first goal scorer, I reckon it could be the one who gets off the chain. And I reckon Brad Close could be assigned to Zorko. And as we know, over the last couple of years in finals, Zorko gives his direct opponent plenty of rope because it's all about offence for Zorko. And if Brad Close gets in the right spots, which he generally does, be given a quick handball or sharks a ball off a marking contest, which he's capable of doing, he could be the one that kicks a snap goal, and he's going to represent great value in doing so.
Certainly will. Well, we've appreciated your insights into this season. Mickey, all the best for Saturday afternoon. What are your plans?
No, barbecue and
Beautiful.
Sit back and watch the game in a relaxing state. But can't wait for the game to unfold because 2 of the best teams in the competition have certainly deserved their right to be a part of it. And there'll be 23 very, very jubilant players come 5 o'clock. Who will that be? We'll have to wait and see.
Certainly will. Appreciate your time. Thanks, Mick.
Good on you, Mick.
Good on you, Seb. Rusty, look after yourself, fellas.
The Perth Racing Preview is where the Straight Up team finds you the winners at Belmont Park. All the fixed odds markets are from Tab Touch.
Now we welcome in officially Rusty Klett and Brad McManus for a preview of this final 8-event program from Belmont on Saturday. Are we all looking forward to getting back to Ascot in a couple of weeks' time following the race round in Kalgoorlie?
Look, we are, but at the same time, hats off to everyone at Perth Racing to get through the entire winter, the wettest winter in 30 years, without losing a meeting. Well done. And no one really I don't like the 12 race meetings. I hate it. I think Perth Racing hate it when we lose a meeting. We have to double up and we get 12 races or 14 races on a day. It's too long. So well done to all the clubs that assisted Perth Racing, and our thanks goes out to all of the track managers right across the state, because it was a team effort. And we got through, as I said, one of the wettest winters in a long, long time without dropping a meeting. Well done.
And well done to Rusty for avoiding all of that rain as well by being in Broome or Kalgoorlie or
Bali,
overseas, Bali, Thailand.
Talking about overseas, have you heard from the great man, McGinnity?
Well, there's updates coming apparently.
Okay, what's he looking at over there?
Well, nautical attire.
Yes, this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing.
That time of the year where you need to as well, with the weather what they're considering now.
Imagine
summer.
that big launch out there just off the back of Gloucester Park here. It'd be fantastic.
That rig is designed for a boat as well.
He could drive it home.
What he's built for.
Oh, that's what he's worked on for years to get that rig. No, but I reckon I'm looking forward to it. And I could see him with the hat on too, the skipper's hat.
Pair of loafers.
Yeah, no risk. Deck shoes.
White linen.
Yep, shirt undone,
sure.
right down. Shirt flailing
fully.
open.
Yeah, buttons optional.
I wouldn't even have them. I don't even think he'd have buttons on the shirt after the second tour out there on the yacht.
He might be a Velcro man, actually.
He might be. I wonder if he'll have a crew.
Now, we've had a couple texts on the Retrovision text line about the app, the Tab Touch app. We are aware of it, and that's been sent off. So an issue with some pending bets, but no money's leaving accounts or going into accounts. More so the latter that people are more concerned about and thinking that could be a possibility. But, yeah, just a couple small pending issues, but no doubt people are on that behind the scenes here. So that's getting sorted. This one for you, Bradley. When do fixed odds for 2J come out?
The Cup is up now.
How good is that?
The Cup is up now, and the
Well
rest we are thinking will be Saturday morning.
Yep.
Early Saturday morning.
Okay, good. This one here as well. Marcel of Melville. G'day, boys. Just one for McGinnity, the Meerkat. Thanks for the $12 long service Leaf. Grand final drinks are sorted.
That was Wednesday.
Congratulations to the people who found that off a nice trial.
Very good
$3.70 at close, I think.
Yeah.
You're a generous man this time of year.
Be a very nice form race, that. Those first three are very good horses.
Absolutely.
Straight up pairing along beautifully without the usual anchor boys. I did say anchor. Split the G in race 3 has to be the Omen bet for Saturday. I'm loading up. I think there'll be plenty of thoughts about that. Are we ready to go through this 8-event program?
Let's do it.
All right. The first at the time of 1:31 over the 1,400 metres. Number 1, God's Rapture for Willie Pike, opened to $2, out to as much as $2.15. Now $2. True Fiction, $8 out to $13. 3, He's a Phoenix, $4.80 out to as much as $5.50, back into $4.80. Number 4, On Cue, $41 out to $61. 5, Brave Dragon, $18 out to $21. 6, Pokhara, $101. 7, Girls on Fire, $4.60 out to $4.80, now into $4.40. 8, So Much Serenity, $16 out to $21. 9, Publicise at $15. Opening price of $13 and now into $9. So Mart's Maps, I've become a platinum subscriber to Mart's Maps as of a couple of weeks ago.
Excellent.
8 from 5 and 4. 8.
So you've got
So Much Serenity.
Yep.
To lead have 5 and 4. 5 Brave Dragon, 4 On Cue.
No arguments with me. Any arguments there?
Maybe He's a Phoenix out wide to slide forward possibly as well, but concur.
Very good. Good work.
By you,
It's just what I've seen on the Mart's Maps. I can't take too much credit.
Very good. And early call?
Early money.
Yes, please.
Lots of
markets?
Lots of it. All for one horse. Publicised down the bottom. As much as that market move itself isn't big, the money certainly is. And the DMAC stable off a very nice debutant winner on Wednesday as well. So where they landed the cash there too. So Publicise, where do we start? Where do we finish? There's 150 each way, 200 each way, another 200 wins, another 400 wins, 400 wins, 500 wins, 300 wins, 400 wins, all at between $13 and $9 Publicise. It's our biggest stand of the day significantly. So where there's smoke, God's Rapture, 800 there at the even money, and a little bit there, He's a Phoenix, 300 at the 480 as well.
All right, well, when it's D-Mac and there's money there, and then when he wouldn't take our call to be the guest trainer on, there's some good signs there. The stable's been going beautifully the last 3 months. We keep mentioning it on Straight Up. So no surprises that he's got another nice one to debut. It's funny too with Darren McAuliffe, when you get the pads on, it doesn't seem to impact someone like me more than if, say, another trainer was trying them. So sometimes with the pads, it doesn't seem to make a big deal. For Darren McAuliffe runners, it was a very good trial. It just kept coming, sat wide on the trial. Win for Buster, raced on Wednesday, went around very short. So that could have been
$1.50 areas.
Yeah, and didn't quite live up to the hype. God's Rapture, if you want to see a great return run, go to the videos of this one. This was a cracking return. Horse coming out of group company, out of the Jim Crack, Karrakatta and WA size for Teddy Martinovich. Got back a little bit, just got home. Willie Pike sticks. The last 50 was definitely the best 50 of the race. It was a funny tempo, that race. They got away to a flyer, Swingman jumped to the front. They sort of eased off in the middle. It was a beautiful ride. And then they ran on home. It was hard to make ground. This horse made ground, made really good ground into third. The extra 200 here is only going to be a tick. I think it's going to be awfully hard to beat. I think it is clearly the one on top here in this race. He's a Phoenix coming out of a good Belmont maiden win. Did get rails throughout, sat just behind the leader. Was a lovely ride from Lucy Fiore, but tougher from barrier 9. I think the map's completely different here, and it is jumping out of maiden grade. Girls on Fire was exceptional in her second win down there at Bunbury. Came from last and was always going to wind up and catch them. There was no doubt about that. Even on the corner, she was motoring and looking the winner. And on the line, won it quite clearly. If ridden out, could have won it by even more. So won it by 0.6 of a length. Good win down there in Bunbury. She's now won 2 of 8 and a couple of 3 placings as well. So good, consistent filly. As we said, So Much Serenity will show a bit of pace and likely leads these. And back on the True, you've always got to be wary of a leader. True Fiction broke his maiden at start number 7 at Northam. Beat Celebrity Angel, was a good effort. And, of course, Darren McAuliffe's down the bottom there, publicised. That's the early mail money. That's the Meerkat horse, the Machino, out of a Universal Ruler mare. Rewrite the Stars. It must be doing some great work at home. The trial was very good, but that's excellent support for a debut in town. So on the opening race of the day, which is also the Thank You Northam Race Club, and a big thank you to all the team out there at Northam. They played their part in making sure that the industry kept their Saturday metropolitan meetings intact right through the winter, and hats off to all the team out there at Northam. I'm sticking with the favourite, God's Rapture. It was a black book run, an excellent return. I think she'll strip a little bit fitter, only goes up a kilo, and the extra 200's right in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, it looks the one at current prices. No interest myself at getting involved. If God's Rapture got to maybe 250, probably would think about getting involved, because I do think it'll be taking care of these.
There you go. That's the first race, Evie.
Second event is over the 1,400 metres. A look at this. Board number 1, Climb on Top, $4.40 out to $6, now back into $5.50. 2, Audio Boy, $9 out to $10, back into $9. 3, Ain't So Bad, $5 into $3.50. 4, Big Day On It, $13 out to $16 into $9. 5, Mama Tembu, $9 out to $10, back into $9. Number 6, Harbin, $9 out to $13, back into $12. Number 7, Kalora, $9 out to $13. Number 8, My Mate, $16 out to $20. Number 9, Wembenyama, $5.50 out to $6. And we should say, speaking to Mack Hall in about 40 minutes' time.
Brilliant.
Wembenyama racing race 2 at Belmont, and then a few runners there at 2J as well on Cup Day. So looking forward to catching up with Mack Hall very soon on Straight Up. Number 10, Ocean Zara, $21 out to $34. Number 11, Royal Zell, $21 out to $41. The maps for this one, race 2, 4, Big Day On It ahead of 3. Ain't so bad.
A bit of activity here.
Yeah, a bit of premature mapping from Seb too. We'd like to go through the prices first.
Oh,
but
sorry.
That's all right. Any big bets here? Activity.
Good punting race.
Yep.
Local pros are keen. They've gone Ain't So Bad early, 500 at the $5. Audio Boy, 300 at the $9. Big Day On It, 300 at the $9.50. Mama Tembu, 250 at the $10. Aside from that, not a lot else to report.
Another interesting race. Couple resuming here. Audio Boy, nice trial. Had the blinkers. It was back and it was wide and it just got through the line very, very well. Audio Boy. And we know from last week, Adam Durant's stable's in form. They won the first 4 there last week. We actually interviewed Adam before the meeting on Straight Up, and he was quite confident with all of his runners, and I'm sure he steered a few of our audience in the right direction there last week. Ain't So Bad. Great mare, this. The beauty about getting back to the last race at Belmont is we are going to get a good track. The weather is superb outside, and I think this mare Ain't So Bad. The record says it, and I think to the eye she's just going to be better on top of the ground. She's been tough the last couple. Little bit disappointing when she led on that very sticky heavy 8, but what a win last start, sitting outside the leader and winning well. In a Class 3 for fillies and mares, I think that she has the early speed to probably sit outside the leader. I think it could be Big Day On It, which is in agreement with Sebi and martsmaps.com. I think that but sitting just outside the leader should be very hard to beat. There's a horse here that's getting out to a bit of value, getting out to the each way now. Climb On Top with Willie Pike. This race is not as strong as the last couple of races it's had, even though it was in Kalgoorlie and Bunbury. This race is no stronger. It's a horse that keeps making good ground, and I think another one that will be better off back on top of the ground. So I can't dismiss it. As I said, Audio Boy was a good trial. It's a good class of horse, Audio Boy. Runs a lot of seconds, but certainly has ability, and I think it could be that late bloomer, being a 5-year-old, having start 18. The mare will be hard to beat, as I said. Harbin, brow band the first time at start 36 is interesting. Is getting closer to a win, 6th run back here. Could be value at each way. Just the only concern there is 755 days since Harbin last saluted. Clora gets out to 1,400, which is his best, but you'd need to see his best to figure in this. My mate has been unplaced. He's passed 11 starts. Another one with a record getting out there, 1,246 days since he's saluted. Wembanyama was a good second the other day in the midweeks. A very good second, came home well from well back. Ocean Zara probably looking for a little bit something a little easier than this, and the wide gate doesn't help. And Royal Zell, back down from the northwest, from the widest gate, will probably struggle. I look at it as a race that Climb On Top could be good value each way in this race. But Ain't So Bad. I agree with the market, and certainly the market support, $5 into $3.50, that it is the horse to beat.
Yeah, you mentioned Ocean Zara, now a 9-year-old mare. Yeah. Might be looking for someone to climb on top, Rusty.
It could be, mate. Could be looking for the yard.
For me, with there's enough pace with Big Day On It holding up, and Ain't So Bad, who's got to get across from out wide. I like a couple that I think are going to be right there, either midfield or just on their hammer, one being Harbin. Can make a huge case for this horse at the $14 around the traps each way. I think it's a nice setup, and as much as the horse hasn't won in a while, I think it's a pretty good second to Olympic Park there, somewhere in its form last prep, and going along nicely this prep, and these form lines, Tropiconi, Dr. J, Kiralui, that all reads well enough for a race like this, in my opinion. The other one, Mama Tembu, just wanted to edge out over $10 again. Another one, but this is the tail of the race. Some of these haven't done a lot of regular winning, but Mama Tembu, look at those form lines. Supernatural, Arcadia Night, Little Silver, Cool Memory, Odinaka. That's fair to say this is a class drop. Race sets up well for Mama Tembu. Just want her to get over double figures as well. They're the two I'll be getting involved in. And now with this drift on Climb On Top, don't really want to be backing throwing a race, but $6 around the traps, it seems one that will start shorter, doesn't it?
Yeah, surprising that drift this early with Willie Pocketboard, but there you go. It does happen. They certainly find different ways to back him, and they certainly move the markets, and it'll move again between now and Saturday. So keep an eye on that market. If it gets out to some tricky price, better than $7 each way, you could go pretty well sticking with Climb on top and the state's leading rider.
Retrovision text line, we've got this one from Bunno, the punter. In regards to this next race and also race 4, with the Sun Out track a good 4, Border Control race 3, Ginger Green race 4, best each way bets of the day. So those are the thoughts of the Bunno punter. Let's talk about this third event, the Thank You Bunbury Turf Club handicap over the 1,200 metres. Number 1 is Border Control. $17 right now on Tab Touch. Open at $12, so a drift there of number 1. Number 2, Canny Rock, $31 into $23. 3, Chino La Diva, $12 out to $17. Tripiconi, $4.20 out to $4.80, back into $4.40. Number 5, Gold Vancouver, $7 out to $7.50. 6, Diablo Lad, $14 out to $15, now into $10. Number 7, Great Emotion, $4.60 into $4.40. Number 8, Magali Magic, $4.80 out to $7.50, now $7. Number 9, Split the G, $6 out to $7.50, now to $4.40. 10, Star Power, $23 out to $51.
ESP money early, Seb, Split the G, 400 there at the $6.
There's been some love on the text line.
Magali Magic, 400 there at the $7.50. Aside from that, not a lot of money to speak of. We've seen some pretty decent market moves in the race, but it's just a rusty, just a bit of merging, a bit of Fugazi. You know how it goes. What are we doing here with martsmaps.com, Seb?
Marts Maps 6 in Diablo Lad ahead of 4. Tripiconi, martsmaps.com.au.
You're very close.
Gee, all over it.
I think he's all over it again.
Marty's apparently
getting
package. And Mart's getting some deep fake upgrades to the package while he's over in Dubai, because that's where you get
over there for the
that's
AI
where you get
well.
your dark web stuff, isn't it?
That's true. I think they've got the AI convention there.
That's what he could be speaking at. He could be presenting.
Keynote speaker.
For Mart's Maps.
Mart will be presenting, don't worry about that.
Well, there you go. Oh, yeah, he'll be having the premium package. There's no doubt about that. Good race, this. Really good race. I'm with the money. I'm with Split the G. I did like the $7.50. Thank you very much. I'm not too concerned about the barrier. Chris Parnham, first time's a big plus for me. And this horse really hasn't run a bad race. The one on debut beat its stablemate. The 5th was okay. Went straight out in the paddock. Came back good second in its trial. It's been in Saturday grade all the way through. The 3rd behind Cape Lewin from a wide barrier was good. And then last week, I think, getting within 1.2 lengths of Swingman in that race. It was quite difficult to make ground. It was a little bit green in that race. That's probably why they've gone maybe a switch of rider, maybe to Chris. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but dropping 2 kilos, it just looks like the one for me. I think the setup's good for it here. Diablo Lad will meet Tropiconi 2 kilos better. The two of them were very good last start. Gold Vancouver was excellent down at Bunbury. Put them away at Bunbury. I just don't know the strength of that race was there. Great Emotion, the one that gave you heart palpitations when they backed it right in heavily at its last start, and sort of disappointed, I think, with the punters on the heavy track there. It should bounce back, I think, with a better going on Saturday. It's the first time in its life they've added the blinkers, which is also a good positive sign that they want to go forward with this horse. And I thought Magali Magic, it sort of leapt in the air as the gate sprung last start. Might have missed it a length, but finished up a 0.8 of a length behind. Winning by 0.8 of a length over Silver Olivia. That was a good effort from well back in contention earlier. So Split the G for me. I think it's still each way, or close enough to each way. It's sort of disappearing. I could see it starting even shorter. I'm not worried about the barrier. I think Chris Parnham's positive, and I do think this is an easier assignment than last week.
I wanted to back Split the G wherever it went next start.
Yep.
I cannot find a spot for it. So unless it's going to the breeze, I think it's going to be last or wide. I just can't see the gaps opening, and obviously it's all guesswork because it's maps. We leave that to Mart, but sometimes you got to play these races on field a little bit, and the reason I wanted a fair bit of a better price, despite the fact that I was very keen to be on the horse, is I'm not sure it gets.
Well, sound the death two back.
Yeah.
And third to Cape Norwood.
I don't think you're crossing. I think Doblo Lad's holding up. I think Tropiconi's getting to the breeze. Well, I think there's enough speed of the horses drawn inside it to hold the spots behind it. I just sort of can't see where it gets.
Okay.
Now, that could be blown out of the water. It might jump straight to the front.
Yeah, it does happen.
It might jump straight to the front. But my bet in the race will be Magali Magic at that $7 price each way. It's a beautiful draw fruit, a beautiful setup. There is enough speed. It's a great price. The 1200 is the query, but it's a great price to find out, isn't it?
No money for it early?
There has just been a little bit of money.
Okay.
There was a drift due to markets merging, and there's just some different opinions, and other corporates had a much bigger price.
And it's a tricky race, $4.40 the field. You're getting value. If you can find the winner, basically, you're going to go home with something from the day. Border Control, I think, getting back on top of the ground, as our texter said, might help. It'll certainly be an improver there. I just don't know if it's at city grade, and I'm still questioning that. But a good race there for race 3 at Belmont for the last day. And thank you to Bunbury Turf Club is the name of the race. Well done to Alex Noble and the team down there at Bunbury. They also played a huge part, didn't they? A massive part in making sure we didn't miss any meetings over winners. So well done to all those clubs, as mentioned in the race book, Northam, Pinjarra and Bunbury, for their part in making sure we had a incident-free winter.
Spot on, Rusty. This one off the Retrovision text line. Good afternoon, Rusty. Seb, thanks for sorting out the account. It does look like Tab Touch, the back end there, has sorted the pending bets out, and it's all fixed. If you open up your Tab Touch apps, this one says, also, I believe Mick McGuan is the best AFL analyst. He's informed and provides views that are all so comprehensive. Again, thanks for fixing the account in readiness for the Manicato, which I think we'll talk about a little bit later, Rusty.
And well done to Danks Furniture for getting us Mick McGuan. He's a ripper.
All thanks to Danks Furniture. Race 4.
You need a new couch, Rusty.
Is the WA Race Horse Owners Association handicap over the mile. The market, number 1, Other One Sun, $7 out to $8.50. 2, Ginger Green, $8 out to $10, but has love on the Retrovision text line. 3, Stormageddon, $3.80 into $3.10. 4, Street Band, $5 into $4.60. 5, Candlelight Supper, $41 out to $51. 6, Classic Rogue, $11 out to $13 into $10. 7, Hostile Talk, $3.50 out to $4.20. 8, Max Wustapton, $9 out to $10 into $9.50. 9, Atlantis Beach, $23 out to $26.
Early local Sharpie Keen Stormageddon, $800 at the $3.80. Classic Rogue, a couple of hundred each way at the $13, and a couple of hundred each way. Ginger Green at the $10. Street Band, $300 at the $5. A little bit of money. Candlelight Supper down the bottom there. Atlantis Beach is friendless. Smartsmaps.com.
Okay, we need the speed map.
According to Smarts Maps, 6, Classic Rogue ahead of, I think, 4, Street Band.
And that'll be pretty close to the money.
Max could take it up as well. There's not a lot of speed in this race, is there? It's messy. It's a bit Lionel.
Getting down to 56 kilos, he might come across and try, Max. Much better in front if he can get there. But an interesting map for sure. And you're not far off it, I don't think, at all. Martsmaps.com. I can see why the money's there, Classic Rogue. It's a good value bet, this, dropping 5 kilos with the engagement of Cooper. Getting right down in the weights now. 53.5 kilos. I know it's been a while between wins and it's only 2 from 23 at Belmont. But the map, the way I see it setting up, is that this horse could probably get leaders back. He'll get a beautiful camp on them on the true. And at that sort of $10 mark, I think it is currently, I can certainly see why there's support there. Street Band, the big jockey changes here, of course, is that Sean O'Donnell's stuck with the stable Trevor Andrews, so he's hopped off Ginger Green and he's hopped off Classic Rogue to stick with Street Band. Horse is racing well, just needs to break through, just needs a win. It's well and truly overdue. been placed 4 of its past 5. It'd be a great bread and butter horse to own, but it does need to salute sooner or later. And Chanel Cooper going on to Classic Road with a claim, and Sean going on to Street Band. It does make a big change there to the weights. So just be a little bit careful there with the weights there, Street Band. Stormageddon, Michael Grantham's horses are flying, the stable's flying, Clint Johnson Porter's flying. It was a great run over the 1,200. It got out to $18 there first up, ran second to King Advisor. It was fall back on the rail on a heavy 8. Looked like it was in enormous trouble when you come into the corner, but powered home. It was a really good run late. Hit the line super. I think the mile's going to suit this horse, being so you'd think. I think the mile will be absolutely ideal second up, and Mickey Grantham's horses do come to hand pretty quickly. It was a really good return. Other one, Sun, has been out of the winner's stall now for 1,211 days, which is a long time. But each run, it seems to be building here, this prep. I think getting back on a good track helps it. It's won 3 3 seconds from 7 starts on the good. So I think that's a big plus for Other One Sun. It did box seat the other day when it ran 5th, but it was still finding the line okay. I think the dry track will be a big help for it. Hostile Talk, Willie Pike, it meets Street Band 3.5 kilos better for their last meeting, but it was beaten quite a way, 3.6 lengths, and sort of got back in traffic, which it does. The barrier 3 will probably be back again. It was fall back on the rails last time and would need to make ground on them. Max Verstappen, Misty Baisley's 4-year-old, only having start number 8, big, strong, leggy type. Looks a stayer in the making, this horse of mine, Max Verstappen. It's 1, 2 of 7. Again, a ripper return, sat outside the leader. Sort of drifted off the track a bit in the last couple of 100 metres, so it was feeling it, but it held on and won by nearly a length. Brad Parnham goes on, senior rider goes on and drops 4 kilos from the claim. So a few ticks there going in its favour, and it's got ticker. There's no doubt about that. That horse has got ticker. That's pretty much the race of mine. I'm going to stick with Classic Rogue at a price. But in a race where, in a meeting where it's quite hard to find a lot of value, I think it's one of the better ones at value, and dropping the 5 kilos is a very big push from me. It'll go even better there on Saturday.
Do we think something different could happen tactically in this race, Rusty? Maybe a horse drawn wide like Other One Sun that's going pretty well. With the lack of speed in the race, maybe they send it forward or something like that?
It'd be its best chance for mine. Whether they want to do that when they're only a fortnight away from Ascot, I don't know. But I think getting back on the good ground, it would be an interesting tactic, and it certainly could be employed. Because
it could be a real sit and sprint type affair. Otherwise, couldn't it? There's just such a lack of pace in the race. So, with that in mind, I've got to be. My query on Hostile Talk is the mile. I think that's just a bit of a concern. But now the horse is older, more mature. Drawn barrier 3, drawn soft in a race that might not have much tempo, so it might be more like a 1,400 race in a mile. So at around that 450 mark, which it's getting to now, Hostile Talk, that could probably get me, because it has, as much as the numerical form isn't great, I don't really think it's put a foot wrong this preparation. I think it's been super all the way through, so it's ready to win one. And you look at those form lines, and they're really solid for a race like this.
Is it in the early railway markets? I know that the Mauler.
No, we're just waiting for it to tick a few more boxes, okay. But the Mauler does send an email into Tab Touch Daily saying, can you put it and Lost City in the railway markets? Lost City's been sold, I think, unfortunately, Mauler, so we won't be putting it in.
Okay, Hostile Talk still on the way towards summer. Another ripper race, and that's halfway through Belmont for Saturday, Seb.
We'll take a quick break. The quaddie legs to come. This one, just to leave us thinking about in the break, from Greg F., afternoon champions. If Seb can select the leader in race 8 at Belmont Saturday, I will invest in some Mart's merchandise. Possibly, from my eyes, son of the boss from the wide gate for front rider jockey Jay Brown. That's Greg F. So We'll
Be a
just
good test for you, this one.
we'll mull over that over the next couple of minutes.
Lock
and then
back into martsmaps.com and we'll see what happens.
martsmaps.com.au. Discussing off air, the other man, a part of this trio usually, is Riley Morgan.
Yes, where is he, the 3D glasses?
He's been enjoying himself lately with the grand final win on Saturday afternoon for South Mandurah, but he's headed to the Big Smoke for the main grand final on Saturday.
Is he? What does he
He's
support?
at the G.
Does he support one of those teams?
No,
or
he's a
just
West
wanting to
Coast
go
fan.
there?
He's a long way from a grand final.
All right. Okay.
So I think he's just over there enjoying himself, but as he should.
Have you been to one, Seb?
The local one, well, the AFL grand final at Optus.
That was here. It was really, really
but
good.
I do need to get to the G.
No, not
Bradley,
yet.
not yet.
I've been lucky. I've been to the
Bucket
G
list.
about 4 times now for a grand final.
What was
Very
the best
good.
one?
Well, because you own a box there, that does make it easier.
I saw the two Sydney West Coast 2005 and 6, which were
Perfect.
one kick either way.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get better games.
Yeah.
Test the heart out, those two.
And then I saw the one that broke the heart of everyone in Fremantle, 2013.
But it was a good game again.
A good game, but heartbreaking.
But missed a lot of opportunities early.
Absolutely.
5.
Any mail on how Riley went in the grand final, assuming he had 45 touches and
yeah,
kicked 6?
I did have a text yesterday saying a best on ground performance. Whether he was actually best on ground, I'm not sure. He kicked a goal though. I could see that on the stats, but they won by 5 points in a game, which I think they didn't expect to be so close.
He told me he won with 3 votes, and that was his own polling card. So well done.
He's a
Good on
poller.
him.
He's
Absolutely.
a poller.
He would be. He's a contested beast, just like the Brownlow medalist, so that's clearly what the umpires see.
And our man in Dubai, no word in yet on the text line about what he's bought or purchased or anything?
No, there's rumours about it just being a stopover. And
A stopover?
he's picking up a package from Russia.
Okay.
The package's name is Svetlana.
Okay.
Do you know where he's staying in Dubai?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, no, he's at the White Lotus.
Huh?
He is. 1469's the room. 1469. And he said it's really
That's
good.
that's
He's
at the
enjoying
top,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's one of the penthouse suites.
He's taken the water out of the fishbowl and put it on the counter in the middle of the main room. I'm not sure why someone would do that.
He's an unusual character at times. And when he doesn't like humidity, so I think that's the thing.
No, because
and he'd be working out too. I hear he's at the gym 3 times a day.
No doubt.
When he comes back, he's going to be ripped, ready for that yacht, that motor yacht. I'm telling you, it's going to be good.
Performance enhancers over there in Dubai as well. I think you can get a hold of
I think
those.
he could even run faster. You're right.
All right, let's get into the main quaddy leagues now. Over the 1,400 metres, we've got the MCA Polytrack Handicap. Number 1, Profit and Power, $10 out to $12 into $9.50. Number 2, Benji's, $41 into $31. 3, Cold Chisel, $21 out to $23, back into $21. Number 4, Centric Nature, $2.75 into $1.95.
Whoa.
Number 5, Here for Checks, $10 out to $14 into $13. 6, Profit Pocket, $9 out to $14, back into $12. Number 7, Yarra Lee, $10 out to $17, back into $15. 9, Soldanel, $8 out to $12, back into $10. 10, Miss Esprit, $16 into $13. 11, Romeo, $23 out to $31, back into $21. And finally, number 12, Ton of Grunt, $12 out to $15, back into $14.
Yeah, big deductions with deferred coming out, Seb. Yeah, huge deductions. Ignore the fact that everything else has drifted and Centric Nature's carved $1 off the price. It's just deductions, mate.
I got a bit excited.
It's just deductions. Or is it? 1,200 at $2.75, 1,300 at $2.50, 500 at $2.75, 500 at $2.20, couple of thousand at $1.95 if you don't mind. This is all Centric Nature, by the way. Profit and Power, a couple hundred each way at the 11. Mrs. Spree, a couple of hundred each way at the 16, and another 100 each way there at the 16. It's the other one they're snipping away at. And a couple of hundred deferred at the early price, well played, because you've had an early collect.
Yeah, any idea what's happened there with deferred?
Yeah, it's been scratched, Rusty.
Okay, that's all we know. All right, I just thought with blinkers first on.
Scratched last week as well.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Maybe they're saving it for Cal. Who knows?
Maps?
Maps we have in the 5th event. We've got the 1, Profit and Power, ahead of Profit Pocket, Miss Esprit.
Yeah, I like it. Here for checks, some chance. They do they can go both ways with that horse.
I had no difference on my maps. I thought that was the way they were going to start, and that's the way they're certainly shaping. Profit and Power, good trial, really good trial with a 4 kilo apprentice K Wells aboard. Had no blinkers in that trial, sat 3 wide, no cover. Just worked its way to the line beautifully. Drawn 10, I can see them going forward and taking it up. That's its usual pattern. Chanel Cooper brings the weight down by 1.5 kilos on its last run. It's had the 2 trials, so I think they're certainly getting it fit before they bring it back to the races. It's got a good record, four starts for 2 wins and 2 seconds at the track. It's got a really good track record. It's been 13 out of 13 on a good track. It's either won or placed every start. Never been unplaced on a good track, and it will get the good track here. I think it's value. I really do. I can just smell value here at $10, $9.50 around the place for Profit and Power, and I do think it actually gets a fairly soft lead here. It could get the soft lead on the new true pad for the last meeting at Belmont, and it could be very, very difficult to beat. Profit and Power, another one's been crying out to see a good track. Had its preparation had a false start to its preparation there. What was it now? 63 days ago. It returns again. Lucy Fiore, Tony Triscari, drawn 9, but it'll probably get across into the running line there somewhere. It's an on-pacer, another one that I just think has been waiting for the sun to come out. Eccentric Nature, you can see why the support's there. It looked short. It looked like it would be the favourite. It looked like certainly the one to beat. Great run the other day. Yorga Pride, as we've said, is a horse that tries and really was trying its heart out to get to the line, but this horse just had its measure and just kept ploughing forward. $1.90. Tough to take, but it certainly is the horse to beat. Southern Earl meets Eccentric Nature 3 kilos better and does love the 1,400 metres, so there's a couple of ticks there. Mrs. Spree drops 3.5 kilos on her last run. She draws well here, draws to probably sit behind Profit and Power. I think she'll get the leader's back run, which again could be really good on that true pad, on a good pad at Belmont. This could be a totally different meeting to our previous few meetings at Belmont, so just be aware of that, punters. With the good track and back on the true, we might see different patterns there completely. Hereford Checks was a good trial, ran on well. I just don't know if he'd be ready first up. He usually takes a run before he hits his straps, and drawn 12 might go back, I think, Hereford Checks, so it could map difficult. Yarralea, yet to show much, does also meet Eccentric Nature 3 kilos better. I think the horse is better at Ascot, and it will be there in a couple of weeks' time. But that's the race, and I think the value there is Profit and Power. If you're getting shopping around $10 and $2.50 around the shops, I do think currently $9.50 on Tab Touch is a good price for a horse that trialled extremely well. He's a good fresh horse, and as I said, loves Belmont and loves it dry.
Yarralea last prep probably should have won 4 or 5 races, maybe 6. It was in 72-plus races and should have won a couple of them. This is not a 72-plus. Yarralea draws a gate, gets Chris Parnham. The trial was good. The first up run was fine on a sticky track. The second up run, I think, may well have just been a tick over run on a very sticky track.
Yep.
So happy to forgive that. Chris jumps back on horse, gets a gate, which it can utilise. If the best Yarralea turns up, that $15 plus is going to look like a very good price when she wins by a length and a half, because if she does what she was doing last prep in this race, she can be winning this race. So I'm keen to get involved Yarralea here. Understand your theory that possibly Yarralea goes better at Ascot, but the Belmont form's good enough, and I just think Yarralea's been waiting for the track to firm right up, which it has, which it will be for Saturday. So.
And your thoughts on the Profit and Power trial?
Well, it's certainly in the lovely trial, certainly in the mix. It's a horse that quite simply doesn't run bad races, does it, Rusty? So it has to be respected in that regard. Respect Eccentric Nature. I just think punters missed the boat last start. Big Drifter got the chocolates and maybe there's a bit of chasing tail this time, like it was good first up in a very good form race. The Dr. J run was very good, so it's going to be thereabouts, Eccentric Nature, but $1.95, happy to watch it go around at that price. I
really do like the 2 trials, and I really do like the fact that Jimmy Taylor's bringing Profit and Power back with the 2 trials under its belt. Overall, 15 times in the money out of 18. What you see is what you get. If you go back and check out that trial, as I said, 3 wide, no cover. Didn't have the blinkers on, had a 4-kilo apprentice on, and it was very soft through the line, probably ridden exactly to instructions from the trainer, and well done to that young jockey. But, if you want to see one bowling along and give yourself a side, I think it could be Profit and Power on Saturday.
Third last event of the day is the Pinnacles Carnival. Stays right over 2,200 metres. Number 1, Royal Law, $16 out to 19. 2, Magic Whistle, 18 out to 21. 3, Admired, $61 into $51. 4, I Love Your Smile, $3.30 out to $3.40 into $3.10. 5, Lombardina, $4.40 out to $4.80. 6, Emerald Trader, $7.50 out to $9.50 into $9. 7, Truvinsky, $31. 8, Just Leroy, $18 out to $19. 9, Lyrical Angels, $7.50 out to $8.10. Beats of War, $13 into $8. 11, Long Jeans, $15 out to $16. 12, Al Unique, $21 out to $26. 13, For Your Eyes, $21 out to $23. And 14, Olden, $26 holding form.
Beats of War, a little bit of local sharp money there. Couple hundred at the $11. Lyrical Angel, $300 each way at the $7.50. Just Leroy, a couple of hundred each way at the $18. Champion, $300 at the $3.10. I Love Your Smile. Plenty of smaller bets building up. Lyrical Angel, always a well-supported horse with us, and obviously going very nicely at the moment. For martsmaps.com, Seb?
I think 2, Magic Whistle, ahead of Royal Law, Lyrical Angel, and Long Jeans.
Probably with Beats
Just
of War
Leroy
leading
up there
them.
too.
Probably with Beats of War leading them. Yeah.
Yep. Not far off. Look, there's a genuine tempo here, which is great. There's 4 or 5 that could lead it. I'm with you. There will be a definite genuine tempo. Lyrical Angel, we were a bit stiff there 2 weeks ago. Ended up we put it out as the best bet of the day at the each way. Got out to $21 and $4.20 and paid $4.20. It came widest in that run when the rails seemed to be the pattern that was working. It was just a victim of circumstances. It was set back from the wide barrier. There was nothing wrong with the ride. I'm not potting the ride in any way, shape or form. Stevie said, righto, I've got to get you in a clear air because you're travelling. And it came from dead last. It was a really, really good run. 1.4 lengths off I Love Your Smile. And meets I Love Your Smile 2 kilos better on Saturday. Another one I think will enjoy being back on top of the ground. I think the barrier is the big difference here for Lyrical Angel. Drawn 4, it'll race closer as it did in its 3 starts prior to the 3rd there at Belmont. And I think it'll go close. So this mare is doing everything right at home. That's the reports I keep getting, and we've been following her right through this prep. I think she's due, and she's probably overdue, and I'd love to see a horse that's racing so well. I'd love to see her get rewarded with a win, Lyrical Angel, before we head off to Ascot. Shows values there. What are we looking at, $7 or $8 still? Yep. $7 or $8 is good value. I Love Your Smile, all 3 runs back after the Bunbury Cup have been excellent. Luke's got this horse just ticking over beautifully. The 5th was good. The 3rd was even better. And last start, the win. From 4 back on the rails, Pike just stayed on the rail and made sure that he made every shortcut there to get it home. Lombardina, another one of our favourites. We got the chocolates there a couple of weeks back. We played the trombone there when this mare knocked off Hey Pino, got us a result. I think it was $14 into about $8 that day. So it was certainly one of ours, and it continues to race well. The only real bad run, and if you call it a bad run, was when it went well back and sort of got stuck in traffic that day around 11th on the heavy 8. It won't be a heavy 8 tomorrow. Its good form is excellent. 3 wins, 2 seconds, 2/3 on a good track. It'll enjoy the sun on its back. I think they're the main 3. The race does drop away a bit from that. Just Leroy, I'm a bit surprised at the support there. I think I have the horse more as a wet tracker, and I can't see any forecast of rain coming between now and Saturday, so that's the way I see it. I could be completely wrong. Beats a War, I don't think it'll get that soft lead that it did two starts back when it won. But it is a good front-running sort of type. You know it's going to put itself into it. But a racing 3 for mine, I really do think it's a racing 3. And that's how it finished last start between these 3 horses at the weights. At the weights and measures and with the barrier draw for Lyrical Angel, I have her on top of Lombardina and I Love Your Smile.
Nice. Good historical trumpet there, Lombardina too. That's well played, Rusty. It was $18 out to $19 into $8.50, so very well played.
Very good.
There was also 46 cents worth of deductions, but that's fine.
Yeah. That's why I think we averaged. I think we averaged about $11, didn't we?
I'm not sure, but anyway. Well played anyway. You've missed that jab, but that's
good.
Fine. These staying races, Rusty, they're taking turns. I'm at the risk of sounding very frustrated with these stayers. I'd like one of them to actually stick their hand up and just put a couple in a line, because I'm not sure we've seen it for about 6 months. So,
well, those 3 were all in super form. They were what? Favourite was like I Love Your Smile. Come off that 3rd to Beats of War, when Beats of War just led him and waltzed him. Lombardina's been in good form, apart from that one on the heavy 8. And Lyrical Angel hasn't missed a place in its last 3. It's pretty consistent.
Mate, I just want one to put a couple in a line.
Well, this could be the one.
Yeah, whole package. Good radio package just walked in.
Peter O'Neill.
Yeah, so I'm going to stay out, Rusty. I've got no firm opinion in this race. It'll be a good one to watch. I should have Beats of War strolling along in front at a good tempo, improving track. A couple stalking will be interesting to see where William gets on the favourite, but he tends to find a way to get things done in these types of races, doesn't he? Lombardina ready to win. Emerald Trader ready to win, I think, too, stepping up to a distance as well.
Absolutely. It does get back a bit, but 5th run back and getting to the 2200, where it's a little bit of an unknown quantity. He had the one start at the 22. Didn't get the job done that day, but showed a bit last start, sort of loomed up. I thought that was going to really figure into the placings there, but just didn't quite finish that race off. Also,
do you have any sanitiser? Because Peter O'Neill shook my hand.
Is he crook?
Hey?
No, he's not crook. He'll be fine. Look at him. He looks like what a strapping individual he is.
I'm not sure what he's got.
He's nervous
Very
after last week.
important for industry participants. Don't miss this close off. The race is named the Pinnacles Carnival Noms. Close on the 13th of October. You're running out of time to get your noms in. Don't leave it to the last minute. The noms close the 13th of October for the Pinnacles Carnival for 2025.
Race 7 over the mile, the Tab Touch West Speed Platinum Spring Series final. And the market looks as follows. Number 1, El Patron, $10 out to 12. 2, Rocket Wonder, $5 out to $6.50. 3, Bondi Plunge, the $12 out to $15, back into $11. 4, Gold Maker, $7.50 out to $8, back into $7. 5, Birds of Word, $51 into $34. 2, March Talk is number 6, $5 into $3.90. 7, he's Archie, $7.50 out to $8.50, back into $6.50. 8, Sweet Tea, $4.20 out to $7. 9, Right to Silence, $15 out to $16, now into $10. 10, Bell Journey, $21 out to $26. 11, Mavis Myrtle, $21 out to $26.
I'd be offended if I was a horse and they called me Mavis Myrtle.
I like it.
I don't mind it. Double M.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
Sounds like
Double M.
What is it?
Someone's great grandma.
Maybe.
It could be.
It could be. So watch him
It's
out.
an honour. Absolutely. Be careful.
Too much talk. 1,000 out at the 440, but earlier on, local sharp money, including 300 at the $5, a large place bet there, 800 at the evens, 600 wins at the 480. Goldmaker for ESP money, 400 at the 650. His Archie, 350 at the 750, and a couple of hundred at the 750. Goldmaker, a couple hundred each way there as well. El Patron money starting to fly in. This has turned into a pretty good little betting race, with the exception of our old mate Sweet Tea, who's on the drift. Rockin' Wonder, a bit of a drift there as well. How are we mapping this one, Seb?
On the martsmaps.com.au, and may have had Marts Maps just have a bit of a glitch before, but in regards to this race, too, Rockin' Wonder, El Patron, right to silence ahead of Mavis Myrtle, who I've looked up, by the way. Mavis Myrtle was there is a war memorial for Mavis Myrtle Malloy.
There you go.
Whether there's any tie in there. Enlisted 1943, an aircraft woman from New South Wales.
Outstanding.
Fantastic. Probably someone's great-grandmother.
You won't find that on martsmaps.com.
No,
That's outstanding.
don't go looking for that.
I would never have come up with that stat. No chance in the world. He's too busy looking at motor yachts. This is a good final, isn't it? $100,000 final, the Tab Touch West Speed Platinum Spring Series final over the mile.
I'll tell you what it is, Rusty. It's a great initiative for milers that are West Speed Platinum qualified, because it's a $100,000 race.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It gives you opportunity for those ones that maybe can't sprint, but there's still a $100,000 race around the corner for you. I think you're spot on with your Marts Maps speed map, Sebby. I think you've got it in one. I think Rocky Wonder only knows one way, and it'll lead from two. El Patron will be looking forward to the dry. It's another on pace. It'll probably sit outside the leader here. It's pretty tough, El Patron, but it'll enjoy getting onto a drier track. Gold Maker's an interesting runner, jumping from 1,200 to a mile. Only had the one win over, from 17. A few question marks there. Draw 9. Did run on well at his latest run. It has been consistent as a place getter. It's placed, 9 or 17, so it's been a good bread and butter horse. Too much talk for Jared Humphreys. Good to see Jared with another decent horse out there. This horse is going to be hard to beat. Anyone that watched the replays, especially if you go to have a look at the Stewards replay in the 8K or whatever it is. I wish the other replays were in the same quality as the Stewards one, but it's a beauty. If you ever want to go and have a look at it, Too Much Talk, sat behind the leader, just had nowhere to go. It was full of running, got out too late, got out at about the 100-metre mark, and the bird had flown. And the bird, of course, was Sweet Tea, who made it 2 from 34. It just staggers me how our punters find these. Like, I did notice on the market changes, $28 into 19, so someone's found it.
I think it opened 12.
And got out to 28, did it? Okay, well, they found their way back into it. And it did win okay too. Second race, as I said, it start 34, so you're looking for it to then make it back-to-back wins.
16 out to 34 into 19.
Got out to 34. Yep. Yeah, incredible. So someone's nabbed $34 about that horse. Well done to you if you've been lucky enough to do it. He's Archie was a good second in the same race. Meets it a kilo better. Just if you go back and watch the replays, Right to Silence will be there. It'll come across and be outside the leaders. But if you're a replay watcher as I am, if you're looking at form, intrinsically trying to see horses that might have been unlucky, this is one of them. Too Much Talk. It'll start shorter than this. It'll certainly, in my view, start shorter. Lucy Fury, I don't think it'll... the lightning rarely strikes twice, so good luck to Jared and the team there. With Too Much Talk, I think it'll be awfully hard to beat in the final there. For $100,000 in the Tab Touch West Speed Platinum Spring Series final.
What are we thinking about the mile for it?
Yeah, showed enough on the line there. After the line even, it was running through the line beautifully. I'm not too concerned about the mile.
I'm a touch concerned about the mile. I'm a touch concerned that his Archie sort of seemed to go through the line with a better head of steam, although it did also have the run-up on it and that build-up in momentum. I'm having a bit of trouble just taking that form from that race at face value in general, because Rockin' Wonder went pretty ordinary for it. The best of Rockin' Wonder it did miss a start by a length as well. And El Patron's gone just ordinary as well. Expected a bit of a better run from it. So I'm not sure what to make of the form, and I'm sort of thinking that this might be like the staying races, where they sort of, if they kept racing this lot, they'd keep taking turns in
Oh, stop it.
Selecting who won, so I'm a little bit concerned.
You need Ascot, my friend. You're getting very cynical with this Belmont
Yeah,
form.
I mean, when I'm looking at Sweet Tea's price and thinking I could almost back that and it's single figures, I know I've got a problem. I mean, I know I've got problems already, but it's another one to speak to the doc about.
Well, it is a frustrating thing, and the punters are finding this too. It's winter racing right across Australia. One moment you're racing on good tracks, next minute you're on heavies, and everything in between. It's not easy to line them up.
It's part of the beauty of doing form, isn't it, Rusty?
It is, and you do get well rewarded. If you can find the winners on the wet tracks, you will get well rewarded. And when we get back to Ascot, they'll all be complaining that the favourites are too short, and they'll be rolling in. That's the lament of the punter. But good race for $100,000. Good luck to everyone that's got a runner in it. I think we've done too much talk on this race, to be honest.
Looking forward to watching it. It'll be an intriguing race. Goldmaker, I'm very concerned at the mile.
Me too. And jumping from
the mile.
Jumping from the 6 furlongs too.
But could almost back Rocking Wonder to go back to its best and lead on this improved deck and take care of them. But
2 from 6 on the good.
We'll see what the late markets do there. Sweet Tea might get out to $16 again, and then we might get involved and just restart that love affair.
Leave me out.
Lucky last time over the 1,200 metres. Ascot opening day, 11th of October, handicap. Number 1, Desert Nymph, $14 out to $17, out to as much as $18 though. 2, Angel Undercover, $8.50 out to $16 into $13. 3, Silver Eye, $5 out to $7. 4, Memory Parade, $6.50 out to $10. 5, We Ray Chu, $14 out to $19. 6, Brave Spirit, $6.50 into $4.40. 7, 2 Darty, $4.80 into $4. 8, Son of the Boss, $18 out to $23 into $15. 9, Deal Her in, $6.50 out to $7 into $4.80. 10, Masamune, $14 now, opened at $11.
I've had 3 separate people contact me and tell me that I've cooked the dealer in price, that I've cooked the 2 Darty price, and that I've cooked the Brave Spirit price. So that's when you know you got a good horse. That's when you know you got a good horse race on your hands.
Well, you've cooked all 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's gracious.
3-way dead heat coming up. Cracking race. This is the race of the day. This is a proper horse race. 1,002 Darty at $4.20, but earlier at the bigger prices, 600 at the $4.60, 600 at the $4.80. Brave Spirit, 600 at the $6.50 early, 600 at the $4.60, 600 at the $4.60, 400 at the $6 earlier as well. It's 2 Darty and Brave Spirit covered. Dealer in money there, 400 at $5, 300 early at $6.50, 300 at $4.80. Plenty of 250s and 300s there for 2 Darty. Memory Parade, 300 at $6.50. Oh, champion. You can have that again with a fair bit of interest on it. Great betting race. This is a good book.
It is. It's a beauty. But there's a lack of speed here from mine. I'm a bit concerned about it. And I'm looking forward to hearing what martsmaps.com come up with here as the leader, because it's not an easy race to map.
Serious lack of speed for martsmaps.com.au, but the 7, 2 Darty, possibly leading. Mm-hmm. But just like our texter earlier, hard to find the leader.
Yeah, it's Lionel. Son of the Boss, if it jumps and there's some intent there, could possibly lead. Silver Eyes settled handy in the past. Cannot see any of the other horses at this stage of their preparations having a look at the front, Rusty.
No, it's a tricky map, and when there's a tricky map, it could be a messy race in my view. So nice horses returning here. Dealer In's a really nice young 4-year-old mare. Showed a bit, 4 starts, 2 wins. The win at Ascot and the challenge was a ripper. Certainly has ability. I don't know how short this will be for it. It was last throughout in the trial. I wouldn't worry too much about the trial. It was good late. Ran through the line well. I know it was beaten a long way, but it was a good trial. Masamune plays 4 of 6 at Belmont and gets a favourable draw and does like the sun on its back. So Masamune with the good track might be better suited here. It was 3 wide, no cover in its last run when it ran 8th at Belmont behind Lost Gravity. Only got beaten 2.6 lengths, but it just kept coming all the way through the line. So it showed a bit of ticker for sure. Son of the Boss will be interesting to see if they do take up or try to take up the lead. Certainly, I think if the intention is there, the horse has the ability to lead and can probably lead these on its ear if they wanted to. Jason Brown is a very good front-running jockey. Too Darty was the trial that caught my eye. Sat in the box, had no visors. It won super, beat West Star. Boy, it was a good trial. Again, if you're a trial watcher, go back and watch this. Drawn well, Brandon Louis. It's got a good track record. It's got a fantastic good record. So the sun will help it. I think it's just a good horse, this horse. I really do. Nine times the money from 13 starts. It gets us lugging bit for the first time at start 14. And in the trial, it seemed to travel pretty sweetly. And I thought that could be maybe a key here. I think it's going to be awfully hard to beat, and it could start, again, a bit shorter than $4 with the 2.5 kilos off from its last run. Excellent trial. Brave Spirit likes the track. I just don't know if this horse is more of a wet tracker. I think it would probably like to get its toes into the ground a bit more than, say, a Too Darty. Memory Parade, some hope resuming, as is Angel Undercover. Desert Nymph, I think it's a good wet tracker. I don't think it's going to get the tractor suit on Saturday. And Silver Eye, as you said, McGinty, running really well. Norton bit the first time. Tongue Tie is back on, so there's still... Adam's certainly still working on it. It's a work in progress here. 18 starts, 5 wins, but that was a good win, and he's still tinkering with the gear. So they're looking for that little bit extra out of Silver Eye, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, cracking race, excited to watch. I've had a little something each way. Angel Undercover at the big, I think got out to close to $17 at one stage. Still a good price for a little sneaky if you like the trial, which I did. Heaps of good trialers. I'm not going to talk anyone out of backing many of them in this because... How
good was Too Darty?
Yeah, really, exactly. A brilliant trial. Dealer In was a brilliant soft trial.
Yep.
Brave Spirit, lovely trial. Angel Undercover, fantastic. So Memory Parade, a great trial as well. So they're all ready to fire.
They certainly are. If you're going to go into the last there, I'd certainly be going a bit wider on the quaddie. I've got a feeling that there could be... If it's not the favourite, it could be a blowout race. And the only concern I have, of course, is that lack of speed. It can throw up a result.
Mack Hall will join us very soon. This one, maybe just to leave us with Liam in Averley, says, afternoon, lads. Last week I managed to back Buckaroo, Oak Hill, Lindemann, Schnitzelate, Antique Star and Immortal Bliss. Beaten a combined less than 1.5 lengths. Beaten between them. Still managed to look myself in the mirror, unlike Brad, after going up $2 plus on the second coming of Farlap last week on Cosmic Crusader. Go better this week, lads.
Very good. Very good.
Best bets across the card.
We haven't mentioned Butchie, have we? The Mundaring.
No, we need to mention.
We should.
Give him a good plug.
The Great Man's had a winner on Wednesday with Spank Appeal.
Again? It's going good
named
for him.
after himself.
Yes.
And Yonga Lass has been locked in for the Golden Saddle.
Okay, we must talk about the Golden Saddle.
So things are going very nicely for Butch at the moment.
Fantastic. Have all the slots gone?
One to go. The Ganjimi still have to announce theirs. But
is there negotiations happening there at the moment? Are you aware?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Because they're running out of time. It's only a week away.
I reckon they've got a few themselves that they'd be looking at.
Yep.
Them being, I'm not sure what's going on with repossession, but like your Fantas, your King Advisors, your Rocanoris possibly, or maybe they're doing a deal externally. But we'll find out sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. So 11 of the slots out of the 12 are locked in.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Jockey news to come, which we're all looking forward to, but there is a market there with Tab Touch for any that want to play in what is an intriguing race, as is the 2J Cup.
And we'll get to that later too. Are we going to do best bets on Belmont?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just think it's not a bad day to play on the last day of Belmont. I think God's Rapture, the favourite, will be very hard to beat. I think it's probably the best of the day. I think it will win. Split the G's, good value in the third each way. Classic Rogues, $10 to $12 each way in the fourth. I think Lyrical Angel's going to be right there at $7 each way in the sixth. And I think the Darley Double, it might be a TOO, Darley Double. I wouldn't be surprised if too much talk goes straight into Too Darty for a nice 2 finish. Nice way to finish Belmont.
Nice 2 for the trombone finish. I got one on the text line from Cameron from Wesley. It says Dougal's been sighted in Dubai on a little side boat in a little life jacket.
Oh, okay.
So
He could be there.
More to come there. That'd be one for the
at
socials.
the Motor Yacht Expo. He's a good swimmer, Dougal.
Wow.
Yeah, very good swimmer. Seen him in the river.
No doubt. So mine for Saturday, race 2, I'm going to go Harbin and Mama Tembu. Race 3, Magali Magic around that $8 mark, and race 5 each way at Yarrowley at that $16-ish mark.
All right, so Harbin
and Mama Tembu, race 2.
Yep.
Race 3, Magali Magic.
Magali, yep.
And race 5, Yarrowley.
Done, mate. Brilliant. All righty. Is our guest ready?
Well, sure is. Mack Hall has got a good team of runners heading to 2J for the 2J Cup Day on Sunday. And then, of course, Wembenyama also running at Belmont for our final day at Belmont. Mack Hall, good afternoon to you.
Hey, boys. How are we?
Really well, thanks. How do we find you?
Yeah, very good. Now having a beer, so it's good.
Firstly, let's touch on Wembenyama. Saturday, race 2 at Belmont. How's it tracking?
Yeah, he's good. Initially, sort of when I saw the fields come out, he wasn't going to run. I thought he was probably pretty poorly weighted, being a Class 1. But it's just difficult to sort of get him down in the weights unless he sort of went to a graduation. So as it sort of played out and the field sort of fell away a little bit, I sort of warmed to the idea of running him, and he'll more than likely take his place Saturday, yeah.
Second last start, what did you make of his last run?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I knew he was going good. There's a few questions on the trials. I knew he was underdone at his first one, and his second one was a lot better. And then first up, he had a couple of excuses. He's sort of just gotten a bit of a bumping match around the corner, and he's not the sort of horse that can pick himself up after that sort of interference. So for him to still run the third or fourth fastest last 600, he found the line okay, and yeah, obviously massive improvement second up.
And better on top of the ground, Mac.
I feel that, yeah. I know he's a done deal, and they seem to sort of like the cutout, but I think he's a horse with a real sharp turn of foot, and he doesn't sort of. It takes a bit longer to go through his gears when the tracks are soft. So, I think getting onto a dry surface is going to really suit him.
Mate, Rusty Collette here. Great to have you on board this afternoon, especially considering you've got the most runners going up to 2J. So you're the best represented stable up at 2J for Sunday's 2J Cup meeting. It's a terrific meeting. Have you raced there before, mate?
I did, yeah. I actually took 5 last year, and we were lucky enough to get one winner. So, as soon as I left the track last year, I thought we're bringing a big team back. So, yeah, that's good.
Good on you, mate. Now, if we can go through a couple of these runners, people are already starting to do the form there on 2J. In the first, you've got a couple of runners. You've got Crimo and Zera Blue. Can you tell us about those two?
Crimo obviously raced last week in the Mount Magnet Cup. No luck at all, just sort of caught off the track, and then sort of 100 to 1 shot took off around us and sort of got in our line a little bit, and he never got a flow into it. So draw a line through that. He still went good. He ran fourth. And, I think sort of the second horse had Saturday form and that, and the winner's a Country Cup specialist. So dropping back to a 46 plus should really suit him, and I think he gets along with Keshaw too. So he's probably the better of the two chances, I would say. But Zera Blue comes off a couple of disappointing runs, but she won sort of 4 starts ago or something, and I just don't think she genuinely stays. I feel like she's more of an 1,800 metre horse, and obviously back in this grade's going to help her out too. So they're both sort of each way chances.
Second event of the 1,100 metres, you've got Elsa's Pride with Shani Webster jumping aboard of this mare.
Yeah, we give her a trial Monday. She's sort of we had her set for 2J, and she had a little bit of a sort of setback, so we had to rush her at the end and sort of get her there. So you may be a touch underdone, but she's the type of mare that gets out and gets running. So I feel like if she can get outside the leader or possibly even cross him, she'll roll down the hill and give a sight for sure.
And dropping 4 kilos with the claim, and also bar plates off for the first time. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, we had a lot of troubles with her feet last prep. She's quite a sound horse, but for whatever reason during the winter, she just kept getting infections and all sorts of things in her feet. So I think we've got them sorted this prep, and she's going to appreciate the weight off too. Yeah.
Okay, into the third, another mare, Tropical Sun, jumping from barrier 8 with Rocky Chungapore. Just tell us a little bit about Rocky and your relationship with him in his early career.
Well, actually, he hasn't ridden for me yet.
Oh, okay.
So, we'll sort of find out a bit about our relationship after Sunday. But I've been told that he's quite good at using the whip in the left, and that's what I feel this horse needs. He seems to lay in a lot under pressure, and I feel like she's a relatively new acquisition to our yard, but watching her first 3 runs this prep, she just seems to sort of be a little bit underdone. She had a long break, and I feel like she was building towards doing something, and obviously in this grade's going to help her out too. And then getting the claims, getting her right down the weights. I feel like we can let the speed go. There's a lot of pace in that race, and I wouldn't be surprised if she ran past a few for sure.
He's an excitement machine when he gets up on one, so be aware of that. You can't be surprised if he leaps on you, Mac.
Yeah, I look forward to that. Yeah, it should be good.
He's a little
He's got a good name for it.
He's beautifully named for it, mate. Race 5, we've got Board of the Bar. Was this horse Board of the Bar, or was it an earlier owner?
That's a story that you'd have to ask my old man. I was up in Kalgoorlie at when the winter sales were on, and I gave him a budget to buy some horses, and he sort of went off script a little bit and bought his own horse, using my money, and then he was obviously at the bar at the time because it was he bought it thinking it would be a 2-year-old, and it suddenly just got the races. So that's the story there. So she'd have to improve a little bit on what she did first up, but I think she's just a horse that's going to take a bit more time.
What about in the Cup, the 2J Cup for 2025? You've got Salary Man, a horse, I believe, Peter O'Neill, the package, who just wandered into the TABradio studios here, is involved in. Now, second last start for Salary Man with a good trial before that.
Yeah, he was, he's been pretty consistent all prep, to be honest. He had a couple of poor runs to start with, and we ironed out a few issues. He was he was pulling up pretty ordinary after his races, and he sort of tinkered with a few things track work wise, and he seemed to put 4 runs together that have been real consistent now. And it was a toss up whether or not to run him in the 46 or the Cup, and the Cup doesn't look overly strong, so I thought it's going to give the owners a big thrill to have a runner in a Cup race. And I know he's only a Class 1, but he's placed 10 times, so he's always thereabouts, and he's got that racing pattern which is going to suit 2J.
Yeah, it's nice when you can load them on the float on the way up there. You know they're going to give their best and possibly bring back a check every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially this horse. He really doesn't. He really tries. He puts a lot into his races. And last start, Shani sort of went a little bit fast on him, and we spoke about that after the race. But he hit the front early, and he was entitled to probably run 4th or 5th. But for him to fight on and he sort of get beaten a length was a big effort, and he come through it good. And I just feel that 2J's tight turning circuit's going to really suit horses that get up on the pace, and he's one of those.
Geez, in good condition, Mac. I was up there during the week, and I've never seen it look better. They've done a lot of work on that track. It is green, it's lush, it's fantastic. It fits in the crew. They do a good job up there, and I'm really happy to support them. And it was a great day last year, so I'm only imagining it's going to be even better this time round. And in the lucky last, mate, you've got Queen Sacrifice. Nice trial the other day. How's this chestnut mare coming back to the races?
Yeah, she's coming back well. She didn't have long off. She's a horse that sort of thrives on being in work, to be honest. So I sort of just raced her 10 days, and she just kept bouncing off her runs. And every time I spaced her out, she'd go ordinary. So didn't give her long out, and she's had a good grounding to come back for this. And obviously the trial the other day was really good on a surface that she doesn't really appreciate. So getting back on top of the ground is going to suit her, and she's just tough. She tries hard, and to be honest with you, I probably think she's the best of my crew on Sunday. That was my next question. So best in the last? Yeah, I would say that's my best. I just know what you're going to get with her. She'll get out and run, and when one comes to her, she'll dig in hard. Yeah. And I did love the fact that it was a 1,200-metre trial there, and Red Sun Sensation sort of moved up but couldn't get past her. I think she showed a lot of ticker in that trial. It was a good trial. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, he's a talented horse, and she's just a little bulldog. Hey, she's never won a race by further than 0.2 lengths or something. She's won 4 of them, but all by small margins. But she just doesn't want to let horses go past her. So I'm sure she'll be there right until the last little bit again on Sunday.
Well, mate, we're looking forward to it. As I said, you're the best stable represented at the 2J for the 2J Cup meeting on Sunday. If people want to get up there and have a look around, I'm sure you're going to be very competitive, as you always are, mate. You've had a good season, great winter season. Team's going well, plenty of winners.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Yeah, everyone's working hard behind the scenes, and we're getting a lot of support, sort of client-wise now, and it's great. I know we're taking them sort of around the place to get winners, but wherever you're winning, you're getting a result for everyone involved, and everyone's happy. So I just love it.
Mate, it's a thrill winning a race anywhere. You know it. I know it. The audience certainly knows it. You can be winning at Mount Magnet, and it feels just like it's winning at Flemington. It's a great feeling. You're doing a good job, as I said to you and Shani. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, and hope you have a very successful weekend, starting off with Wimbiana on Saturday, and then, of course, 2J with the 6 runners.
Beautiful. Thanks, Rusty. Cheers, boys.
We hope you enjoyed another stimulating episode of Straight Up. All betting markets supplied by TABTouch. All care, no responsibility went into the production of today's podcast.